Hey everybody, let's get the Insta going. Everybody a joker. Getting the Insta going. Insta. Do. Hi everybody. Welcome. Welcome. Welcome everyone. So, going live here on the Instagram at the same damn time. Hi everyone, welcome. So on Instagram you can't see this as the name of it, but today we're going to talk about spiritual relationships, communities, and issues that arise from them. Hi everyone over on the Instagram. Hi everyone over here on Facebook. If you're here with me on Facebook, share the live. Hi Mariposa. Hi. Hope you're doing well. Go ahead and share the live. Um, do, 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 do. Right. Today we're going to talk about spiritual relationships, community issues that arise from such spiritual relationships. And I'm seeing if, here we go. Hi everyone on Instagram. Hi to all my people over here on Facebook. Let me see how I'm positioned in these cameras. Sometimes it's a little difficult to do two things at once. Hi everyone. Hello. Waves to everyone. Hi. Hope you're all doing well. Hope you've had an awesome week and you're having a great Friday. As always, I want to just give everybody a heads up. I have a whole bunch of videos lined up on YouTube. Thank you. Um, I have a whole bunch of videos lined up on YouTube that'll be coming out pretty much every day, but they're only going to be over on my YouTube channel because of the way that I have the capacity to set that up and get y'all this information, and meanwhile do everything that we got to do around these parts. So if you haven't already subscribed to me over on YouTube, go ahead and do so. If you look me up, Hungan Hector, you'll find us over there, or Voodoo Hungan. You'll find us over there on YouTube, and you're gonna want to sign up because I'm gonna have a whole bunch of videos that are coming out just on YouTube. Click subscribe, you'll get the info right away. And also over on our website, hectorsalva.com, I generally put things out a little bit slower though as a post. If you're here with me in the Facebook, please go ahead and share this live. I'm going to see if I can share it at the same go while I'm here with you. So, whew, that's a lot to say. If you like the lives, if you're gaining from them, you can cash app us. Hi, Miss Elliott. At cash symbol Hector Salva, or donate via PayPal to us. I help at Mystical Work. It's up to you what you want to do. So just letting you knows. Let's por ahí acá. And saludos. We have a new group. Tenemos un grupo nuevo en Facebook que se llama Místicos. En español es un foro para toda la gente espiritual en el camino espiritual. So that was my announcement for my Spanish people, that we have a Spanish uh, dedicated Spanish group in Facebook now called Místicos that you can join in order for you to, ¿cómo se llama? Share, yo no sé. For you to join if you mainly speak Spanish, that we're going to talk about all these things. All the things, the 21 divisions, lo espiritual, the spiritual path, so on and so on and so forth. If you speak English, we have another new group called Mystic Mavericks, in which, there we go, in which you'll find information in English about all types of spiritual things, yada yada, and so that, right? I'm trying to see if I can share this in the Facebook at the same time while I'm doing all of this and getting us all set up. Today's topic is spiritual relationships, spiritual communities, and issues that arise in such, right? I already did one on YouTube today. It's called Losing the Self, or Fear of Losing Self, Fear of the Master. So if you haven't checked that out, go check me out on YouTube and click subscribe, right? So today's topic is something that I've seen over and over and over and over in many different spiritual communities and spiritual groups. And it can become, I'm not sure if what it is here with my live in the Facebook. Yeah, we see. Okay. So, in the spiritual community, right? A lot of times there's something that happens, which is relationships are started to be created between members in the community or people who are God children. And a lot of times these relationships actually start to work against the growth of the people in them. I have witnessed relationships amongst God children or people within the same spiritual community for 30 plus years. And I've seen a lot of things, a lot of beautiful things, but also a lot of incredibly ugly things. And in the spiritual community, a lot of times people want to connect because you want to meet and get to know people that are like you, right? But, and this happens very commonly in spiritual groups and in spiritual temples, amongst spiritual, basically groups, right? Spiritual groups, spiritual communities, spiritual temples, in which basically a lot of infighting starts to go on, and it becomes a distraction to the real purpose of why people have come there to begin with. I'm trying to see if I can still share this to, you know, to what we got here going on in Facebook, but it may or may not be working. So, you know, that's just how it be with these technology things, especially with me. So, in a lot of spiritual groups or the spiritual community, hi Lisa, I hope you're doing well. Hi EO, right? In a lot of these spiritual relationships, woo, yeah, that's how we do things. So relationships end up in a whole bunch of types of problems. Hi, right? Because you end up with situations in which the sick start to try to treat the sick, right? And I'm going to tell you a little story of my own scenario. There we go. I think that's what we're going to do, how we usually do it, because that's not working for me. right? Where what happened was when I was very young, I inherited a temple's worth of people and a society of people. And I was only like about to be 17 years old. And hi, Courtney. And I inherited this because my aunt passed away. And she had a whole bunch of people that were her godchildren. This is not something that I wanted to inherit. Trust you me. Hi, Goddess Mother. Hi, Blessed. Trust you me. This is not something that I wanted to inherit, but it was something that I inherited from her. And I was just about to be pushing 17. Bendiciones. I was just about to be pushing 17, and definitely what I was not trying to do is basically run a spiritual temple and take care of people spiritually. Hola, right? That was not my interest, nor was it my interest in taking over somebody's practice that had like over 200 plus people, right, as God kids in a whole scenario and situation. But I didn't really have to worry about it too much because really there was a lot of ugliness, right, that the misterios came to show me. And in that ugliness, what they showed me was like a whole bunch of wolves, people, a whole bunch of wolves that were actually people, right? There was this whole bunch of wolves coming in from many different directions, but the wolves were actually people. And amongst these wolves, there was two wolves that could actually like stand up on their hind legs. And what that led me to know from that dream and that vision was that these two wolves on their hind legs were like basically the leaders of the pack, right? And what I came to see in that vision that kept recurring on multiple occasions, hi, right? On multiple occasions, what I came to see in that vision was that those two individuals were two individuals in my aunt's temple who wanted the temple for themselves. And for various reasons, they felt like either I was too young, which to me they were right as far as that's concerned, or that they would do better, that they were older, wiser, more knowledgeable, that it should have been left to them. But these are not things that humans make choices on. These are the things that the misterios make choices on. However, at the end of the day, we as humans, we have to take the responsibility or not take the responsibility of what's handed over to us, right, by the misterios. We can choose to follow and listen or not follow and listen. And so basically what came to happen was that in the end I decided, hey, I was just gonna let them have the damn thing because wasn't really trying to sign up for all of that, right? And I was definitely not going to be scrapping for all of it. I was definitely not going to be fighting for all of it. And basically I was just not cutthroat. And I just didn't have it in me to be cutthroat about something that when someone dies, I have this crazy thing, is that I don't wait for people to die. When I'm not waiting for anyone to die, I'm not counting my money for when somebody dies. So I'm not waiting to kind of like get something from somebody else's death. So basically when that happened, that wasn't my intention, was to have no big temple. So basically I did the final ritual that I needed to do as part of my obligation, and then basically I let them have it and I let them take it. And I was like, yeah, here, you guys want it so bad, basically you can have it. throughout that time that occurred after I gave it, right, after I relinquished it and let go of it, and throughout the time even before that, right, what I saw was a lot of sabotagery, a lot of cutthroatness, a lot of people harming each other, a lot of one-upping, a lot of one person trying to, like crabs in a barrel, stand on the other person's head. And I was blessed enough that I got to do a lot of my apprenticeship starting from a very young age. And I count my blessings for that, because when you're young, there's certain things that you're going to see just so clearly because you don't have all this extra stuff that's going in your head as an adult, right? And one thing that I saw was that a lot of people would make relationships with each other, spiritual relationships, spiritual friendships, which in a way is to be expected because you're wanting to connect with people like you, right? But in many ways it was harmful. What you have to understand is that everyone who's coming into a temple, and I explain this to my godchildren very thoroughly, okay? A temple, especially in our work in La 21 División, a temple is a hospital. Okay? It's a hospital for the spirit, for your spirit, right? And so everyone coming into the temple is sick. They may not have the same illness, okay? They may have different illnesses, okay? Or they may even be there to study to become a doctor, okay? Or a nurse. But when one is called to be on the spiritual path, right? When one comes into the spiritual path, even if the calling is to be a doctor or a nurse, one starts off with an illness. One starts off with the sickness, right? And so we don't, my aunt never did, I don't encourage relationships between godchildren or relationships between one person that's working through still a certain level of their development and other people working still through that certain level of development. The reason why is because many times people then put themselves in a place where they may think themselves a doctor before they're a doctor, right? They may have had the help of the godparent, right, to resolve certain things, and now they might think they can resolve it for another. And I've seen this over and over, where then they start advising, or one godchild starts to look up to another godchild who is still yet in the process of development, right? And the ego is very, very tricky. It's very subtle, right? And so that other godchild who may be in, who's still in the process of development, maybe a little further along, there's a little pleasure given to the ego that people are looking up to them and want their help. That's one. Number two is, because everyone's in the process of healing, right, you're also contagious. You're contagious. You can hurt each other by accident without meaning to, right? I've seen cases where there's sabotage, right, going on from one to the other. People become really easily distracted. There does not really need to be any relationship between godchildren. That's not important. Bonsoir, bonsoir mambo. That's not important. And a lot of people put that relationship in a position of importance that ends up causing them many problems because the other godchildren are still sick. The temple is a hospital, right? And until there's a certain level of development, they're not at a point of being able to help. So the people, the reason for so much mess in the world, in many ways and in many religions, has to do with the relationship between God children. The reason you have Christianity and the mess that is Christianity is because the relationship of the apostles to each other as God children. The reason you have Buddhism and the current mess that you have in Buddhism, and there's a lot of mess in Buddhism, baby. People think Buddhism is all Zen. That's not so, baby. Okay? There's tons of Buddhists, but no Buddhas. There's tons of Christians without Christ. Your last Christs and Buddhas were hundreds and thousands of years ago. But Christ didn't teach Christianity. He taught to become a Christ. And Buddha didn't teach Buddhism. He was teaching how to become a Buddha. And there's a big difference. Right? Buddha, we use it as if it's a name, but there's many people who are known as Buddhas. Right? It actually is more than one person. There is not just one Buddha out there. Okay? And the inner potential that you have to be a Christ or be a Buddha. And when I say Christ, I mean Buddha. When I say Buddha, I mean Christ. When I say Christ, I mean Muhammad. When I say Muhammad, I mean Buddha. I mean Christ. It's all the same thing. Okay? All of the prophets have come to teach, right? And they're called prophets, but they're not prophets actually. They're actually mystic masters, right? Have come to teach you how to become a Christ, not how to become a Christian. How to become a Buddha, not how to become a Buddhist. But now you have Buddhists and you have Christians, and thus you have all of the problems that result from the religions, ideologies, from things called Buddhism and Christianity and Islam. All right? That's not how it was supposed to go, baby. All right? So relationships between God children actually create a lot of mess. And there's a lot of times that because both people are ill and they're in the process of healing, they're going to have problems with each other. And that problem distracts the reason or the purpose for which each person came in the first place. The only relationship that truly matters when it comes to you spiritually is the relationship between you and your godparent. That's your primary relationship. You should have friendliness with your God brothers and sisters. You should have a certain level of camaraderie, but you shouldn't have friendship. There's a very big difference. Right? You can relate with them, but you shouldn't have relationships with them. Because you're both in the process of healing and developing, and there's a lot of dirtiness and contagion, okay, that happens throughout that process. And it's very easy, and many people do it, and some people do it on purpose to get other people distracted off of what is the true purpose that you're here. I've seen it before where people are like, I don't want to work with so-and-so because so-and-so is their godchild. Okay? Then you shouldn't, because you're not there for the right reasons. You're there or you're not there because of so-and-so the godchild. But your relationship is not meant to be there for you and so the godchild. The so the godchild, who may or may not be your enemy, okay, is there to advance, and so are you, right? And and you really don't have anything to do with each other. There should be friendliness, there should be camaraderie, but there shouldn't be friendship, and there shouldn't be relationship. There can be relating to each other. That's needed, that's necessary, right? Because you're all going to come together and work together at various times, but there shouldn't be a relationship between each other, because that leads to a lot of problems and a lot of breakdowns and distraction, right? And a lot of people who aren't doing well are known to sabotage others, right? And throughout the process of spiritual development, there's going to be ups and downs as you clear your shit. It's not all going to be all right up, okay? It's not all going to be fucking rainbows and flowers. And if it's all rainbows and flowers, then you are not developing. Okay? Give me a little heart emoji thing or whatever. But if you're in the shitstorm, then you're in the process of transforming something. Okay? You're in the process of developing something. Right? Sometimes you're going to have to go through the shitstorm to become something greater. It's going to be part of the process, right? But a lot of people, like I try to explain to people often, successful people, we have no need to compete with anyone. We don't compete. We're out of the competition. We're on a different plane where we're succeeding. Okay? We're on a different area. So we want you to succeed. Successful people want other people to succeed. People that are also the underdog or still yet not successful, that are still working towards success, they're your competition. Okay? Many times people want to be like, oh, all of us underdogs together. You can't be together, baby. It's an impossibility because all of you are competing for the same thing yet. You haven't reached success, so you're still fighting for the same thing. So you might try to get together to take somebody else down, but that doesn't bring you any closer to success. Right? So successful people are going to be the people that want you to be successful. People that are happy want you to be happy. People that are unhappy, they don't want you to be happy before they get happy, right? They're still fighting to get that little piece of happiness for themselves. And it's unfortunate, but this is the way that the world works, okay? And it's not always something that you can do about it, right? You just got to work with the flow of what you got. And I've seen a lot of times where people who end up like really severely distracted on the spiritual path. Why? Because, you know, they came to that place because their friend went there. Okay? But it's not your friend that is either going to make the progress or not. It's not your friend's life that's affected. It's yours. And maybe the reason that you came was because of your friend. And that's beautiful. A lot of people come here because of their friend, because they were recommended, right? But once you get here, once you get to the spiritual temple, once you get to the spiritual hospital, okay, you got to let go of your friend's hand, right? And then you got to work with the doctor because your friend brought you because they weren't able to, for whatever reason. That doesn't make anybody better or worse. See, that's part of the problem, right? Is you have all this status built up in your mind, or better or worse, okay? such nonsense bullshit about one person being better or worse than another person. Okay? And that there's some type of normal Norman and normal Norma out in the world that everybody's trying to be like, which I've never met. It's like Carmen Sandiego. Like, I can't find fucking normal Norman or normal Norma. I've looked all over, but it just doesn't seem like they're anywhere, right? They just look like they're just, I don't know where, but they ain't here wherever I see them, because every person that I've ever met has been incredibly unique and is an individual, right? And they may not even know how individual that they are, but I haven't found normal Norman or normal Norma yet, right? Everybody's trying to be one of these normals, and it's not pretty, right? Because beauty is created with variety. You have to have variety, otherwise your eyes get bored. You get bored. You get bored easily. Why do you think God gave you so many different things to eat? Because you get easily bored. So, when exactly, there is no normal anyone. So, when you're working in the spiritual path, right, what you have to understand is it's about the relationship that you have with your godparent. And you can't compare your relationship with your godparent to your godparent's relationship with anybody else. Each relationship is unique, right? But then comparison comes into play when relationships start to happen between the sick people. The people at the hospital, which are the godchildren, or the people that are in the process of study, who are doctors and nurses. But they're not yet there. They're in the process of study, right? And a lot of breakdowns occur that don't need to be there. I hear people say, like, um, I'm not going to the ceremony because so and so is going to be at the ceremony and I don't like so and so. Okay? Then you shouldn't go to the ceremony because you're not there for the right reasons. The ceremony ain't about so and so. The ceremony is about the Loa, the misterio, the mysteries, God, something higher. Right? And if your enemy is studying with someone who is your godparent, then you should be like, you know what? My enemy is a little smart. Okay? Hey, maybe my enemy is not that bad. Maybe he's a little smarter than I think. Maybe I need to pay attention. Okay? Maybe there's something there. Okay? Obviously, my godparent has something to offer. Right? A lot of people will get attached to the sense of what is their job or what's their position in a temple. Okay? They're in a temple, the position is that you serve with what needs to be served as far as the misterios require, as far as the godparent and the misterios require. Right? Your need for a job or a position is again a subtle way of the ego. And the ego will get upset if somebody else does your job or takes your position. There is no jobs and there is no positions, because a temple is one. It's one spirit. It's one people. But that one spirit, one people cannot happen if everybody's not working on their ish, if everyone's not doing their development, right? And their spiritual work. It can only remain broken apart, right? And then competition happens, infighting happens, a lot of ugliness. Okay? a lot of ugliness that occurs, and that's not what we're here for. And like I said, I've been around spiritual temples for 30 plus years. Okay? Like I said earlier, I inherited one when I was just about to push 17. And because of the ugliness and the competition and all the cattiness, and like basically you wanted to kind of like attack somebody who wasn't even a grown up yet over being a leader to some people that weren't, necessarily even your people, right? The ugliness. I was like, here, you can have it, baby. And within less than a year, right, those 200 people scattered, scattered like leaves in the wind, baby. Okay? Scattered like leaves in the wind, tossed all around. All right, I ended up with like 20 or 30 of them, but then in 1 year later, over 200 people went from being one spirit, one people, one community under my godmother, my aunt, right, to scattered leaves in the wind. And the people that I left the temple to with infighting because they had not yet reached, and each one took its own direction. And certain people were left on either side, and other people were just scattered leaves in the wind, and some people came back over to where I was at, right? And it was kind of a beautiful thing because of the way I handled all that as such an age. And later on, again, the Mikteri was like, yo, you're gonna end up having God kids in the temple and blah blah blah. I was like, bro, I'm not really about that life. No. I was like, I'm not really trying to be about that life. But that was what they gave me, right? And I didn't want to be nobody's godparent. I didn't want to be nobody's teacher. I just wanted to, take in and absorb the spiritual work and reap the benefits from it and dance a little bit and live my life and yada yada. I wasn't about that life, right? But it's not about what you're about. It's about what the Misterio puts for you. And the Misterio doesn't put the same thing for everybody. But it doesn't make one person higher or lower, lesser or better than another person. That's a big thing, okay? That people will think that they're higher or lower, okay? You can have somebody in a temple for 20 plus years and they haven't passed the fucking second step. You can have somebody in a temple for 10 minutes and they could have reached. How open, how much trust and openness and willingness are they to melt into the teacher? Yeah, there'll be tons of other technical things that person has to learn. But in 1 year, they can learn a lot of other things. A lot of those technical things in a year or two, a few years. Doesn't take forever in all reality, okay? Contrary to what people may want you to believe, okay? Because our work is about making life work now and getting woke, being spiritually enlightened. It's not either or, it's both. That's the beauty of it, baby. Okay? And exactly, someone said here about competition. Competition has been bred in people from such a young age, right? And I've seen it. Friends come into temples together and then their friends are competing with each other, right? Where's my friend at versus where am I at, right? Or even competing with each other in trying to have that relationship with their spiritual teacher, which is an unnecessary competition. It becomes a distraction from the true purpose. because you're there for something way bigger and way more than that. It's easy also to then become focused on competing with others, right? And lose focus on your own growth and what's going on for yourself. What's going on? Hi, Lil Cholam. Hi, everyone. What's going on for you, right? And what you need to do, right? Remember, you've been called for a specific purpose, a specific reason that's unique to you, right? But that primary relationship that has to be focused on is that relationship with the godparent, not with other disciples, not with other godchildren, not with other people who are at the same level of development as you, not with other people who are lesser developed than you or on a different tangent of development than you. They can't help you, right? They can only serve to distract you, right? The place where you're going to get growth, where you're going to get what you need, is from your godparent. And so that's where your focus needs to stay. And in that, right, and being able to be friendly with your god brothers and sisters and relate to your god brothers and sisters. And it's very hard for people because they've been taught, like, if you don't own someone, right, not to care. So, not to relate to people if you can't have something or have a relationship with them. No, you can relate to other people. There can be a friendliness, there can be a camaraderie without a relationship that's later on going to create a mess. Right? It's going to create distraction. It's going to take you away from the reason why you were really there to begin with. All my mystics, all my disciples and my godchildren, all my people that follow with me, y'all are ancient ones. Y'all are smarter, right? Y'all get some, y'all, right? For reals. Yeah. Right? Y'all understand what I'm saying to you. And many of you who will watch this will also very readily understand, right? That those people who seem like they're on your level or they're with you, they're going to be trying to compete with you, right? They're not going to be trying to grow with you because they can't. They're going to be trying to compete with you and in many ways sabotage you. Okay? And if you leave me a comment here, I know I don't have too many people on with me. You know, I do just really pop up on here like that at random. But if you leave me a comment here, what I'm in the uh, mental workshop considering doing is giving you some wisdom that we get from our Vodou, right? And in our Vodou, there's a lot of wisdom hidden all over it. But most people can't see it because they have eyes to, you know, see but not to see. Hear and listen, right? So in our Vodou, we say many people are going to give you their teeth. They're not going to give you their heart. Hey there, darling. A lot of people will come in and hi, they will give you their teeth. They will not give you their hearts, right? They will give you a smile in your face, right? But they're not giving you the contents of their heart, how they really feels about you, right? And so a lot of people who are not doing too great, right? What they like to do is cut other people down, or even people who are on that same level, they want to cut that person down to make sure that that person doesn't rise before them. They want to compete with that person, right? They want to break them down. They don't want to give that person a chance to rise faster than them. So you have to understand the difference between teeth and heart and keep a keen eye on that. And people show it to you in many different ways. But if, you're in your head thinking that you know, things like that, it's easily not to be seen, not to understand that that person is still working on their development. And so, in a way, they can't help it, and in a way, that's how it's going to be for them. All right? So, I hope all of you guys have an awesome weekend. Like I tell you guys, if you like the live, go ahead and share it. Those of you who came in late, watch and share for me, right? And back to back, right? I have a whole bunch of videos about spiritual protection, about mysticism, about man, spirit, psychic vampire. I mean, like I got all kinds of stuff coming out, and you're gonna wanna watch and keep hold of that. And I don't even know if Facebook's still recording me because I see myself frozen on the camera over there. So if that is that, then say la vie with Facebook. I'm just gonna deal with us here until that decides it wants to do whatever it does, and hopefully it can still get me. So from haven't already, send me a friend request and a message. Send me a message. Don't just send me a friend request. Okay? There's a lot of hackers and other types of nonsense that goes here on Facebook. So send me a friend request, then send me a message if you want to join the Mystic Mavericks, or if you want to join our new Spanish speaking group, the Místicos. Right? Yeah, Facebook post. Thank you. And so if you want to join the Místicos, like I said um, earlier to everyone on Instagram, check us out on YouTube. I have videos on spiritual protection, psychic stuff, all these other things coming out in the next few days. If you like the lives, and you want to donate, a lot of people have. It's Cash App, Cash Symbol, Hector Salva, or PayPal. Help that mystical work. You know, we enjoy being here with you guys. We have these new Facebook groups coming, and some of you have been asking me about certain uh, basically products or things. We're going to be doing something where I'm going to put out kind of like, I know people that have all kinds of things that they can get to you. Like some of them are here on here with me in the live in one of in the lives here. But I want to put together a good list, right? Because you know sometimes you're looking for stuff, and you're looking for stuff wherever it is that you're at. And there's lots of great spiritual workers out here that provide all kinds of tools and things that people need. And have stores like Mama Star has a store. There's have a great weekend. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube because tomorrow, every day, basically, something's coming out for the next few days. And hopefully, we can keep it rolling like that. Have a great 2021. And pretty soon we are going to be giving out the reading of the year. So stay tuned about hearing about the details and information about that. And yeah, so keep the faith and stay blessed. See, we have someone here, Goddess Mother, with an art store. So we have all types of resources and things going on. So stay blessed, keep the faith. Thank you for being here with me. Go ahead and subscribe, and we'll see each other soon. Let's see that.